Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a super easy makeup tutorial. That is a very broad term, but I'm using that term because this is going to be an all over eyes, face, lips, everything tutorial, but it's gonna be super easy and drugstore friendly, so let's get started. First thing we're gonna start off with is primer. Now, I mentioned this is all gonna be drugstore, so I'm gonna be sharing with you what I'm using so you can go grab it yourself if you're interested. So this is the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I have it in a little jar, but this one is much easier to use because it is in a little squirt tube. I think if you're just starting out with makeup, this is probably a step that you forget or miss or don't know to do because you think makeup is, you know, foundation, mascara, all that good stuff, but you have to start with a good base. And even before you prime your face, you need to hydrate your face with some good moisturizer. So learn your skin type, moisturize your face, and then primer your face before foundation. For foundation, we're going to be using this Hard Candy Glamouflage Full Coverage Foundation. I love this foundation. This one is from Walmart and mine is in the shade Olive. I love this foundation because it's super full coverage, but not so full coverage that it clogs your pores and looks cakey on your face. It's just all over a really good covering foundation, but also feels good and wears well on your skin. I'm a full coverage girly, so if you are not, you can just do like a tinted moisturizer or simply just concealer, or you know, and then move on to the next step. I'm gonna try it with a brush today. Usually I use a sponge, but I'm in the brush mood, so let's try that. I start off with my mirror, like this is my mirror. I always start off with it like way back there. I'm like, why can't I see? Because it's not close enough. Makeup does not have to be hard and complicated and have a lot of steps. It can be as simple and it's as easy as you want it to be. Everything is personal preference. So we're just gonna move on to the next step, which is going to be concealer. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Mine is a little yellow. Mine is in the shade Light Sand. See how yellow it is? That's okay. I'm still going to make it work. Learning your foundation shade and your concealer shade is definitely a process. Clearly still for me. I'm better at picking up my foundation shade than concealer shade because I always try to do my concealer a little bit lighter, but obviously sometimes that doesn't work out. But like I said, it is a learning process, a learning curve. You need to learn your undertone, whether you have a neutral or olive or pink undertone, which I have a carousel on I have a carousel on my Instagram all about how to find your perfect shade, foundation shade. So I will link my Instagram right here, and it's also in the description. I give a lot of good tips on how to find your undertone so that you can match yourself better with your foundation, because I know that is a struggle for a lot of people. Her tip I will say is to blend out your concealer with a sponge, because I feel like it kind of hydrates a little bit better, and the older I get, yes, I'm getting older. Don't remind me. The more I need hydration everywhere, but especially under my eyes. Setting your face is the next step. Even though my face is a little bit drier, I still set my face. I encourage everyone to set their face if you don't like that sticky feeling, and it helps with your foundation not settling into your fine lines and stuff like that. So this one is also from the drugstore. It is, I think you can get it at like CVS and Walgreens and stuff, but I get mine at Walmart. This is the Airspun Loose Powder, and I have mine in the shade Translucent in the extra coverage one. So I just dump it into the lid like that, so I have a good bit. And then I call this a powder planchette because it literally looks like a planchette on a Ouija board. And I just take that, dip it in here, so you have all that, and then I tap off the excess on the back of my hand, which we will come back and use that. We don't waste things over here. But for the under eyes, I tap it off on the back of my hand and then look up and press and set. You don't want to drag, you just want to press, because that will ensure it gets right in your skin and sets that concealer. And you see how it just brightens as well. So we're gonna repeat the same step. Tap it off, look up, press, and set. I drag whatever's extra onto my nose. Then I'm gonna take the back of my hand, scoop up that extra powder, and start laying it down on my forehead. Now you're just gonna set your whole face wherever you want your foundation and concealer to be set. So for me, that's around my mouth, on my forehead, and I always take it underneath, like right here in the middle of my ear, and go down, because that does kind of help chisel it out just a little bit without doing any extra like contouring or anything like that, because we are beginners here. We are just starting out and we don't need to be doing all that. We need to get the basics down first. And then I'm just dragging whatever's left on the sponge thing and setting setting my eyes. Since we set our eyes, I'm not gonna use any eyeshadow because, like I said, we're beginners. We are really focusing on the steps and how to master those before we move into more complicated things. So our eyes are set. We're not gonna crease. What I am gonna do is put some bronzer in my crease so that it gives a little bit of dimension without having a full-on eyeshadow look. For this, I'm gonna use this Profusion Bronzer Bronzing Palette. I am going to feature a couple of the Profusion palettes in this video because they're such good quality and there's so many shades. If you don't want 17 little bronzers in your collection, just get this and you have them all for all year round when you're pale and when you're really dark in the summertime. This is literally perfect, I'm telling you. I'm just going to take, I don't know, we're gonna take Bora Bora and the Maldives right here, mix it. This is a fluffy blending brush and then just put it in our crease. Windshield wiper motions back and forth. We're not gonna spend a lot of time because this is just giving our eyes some dimension. Along with the windshield wiper motions, we're also going to do circles. These circles will help diffuse that shadow and make it look seamlessly blended into your socket and your eye. Just like that. See how it gives, this eye has a little bit more dimension and a little bit more zhuzh than this side. That's what we want. Super simple, super quick. Moving on to mascara. This is the Maybelline Sky High mascara. It looks like this. I need a new one. I need a new mascara. This thing is dry as the Sahara, but I'm still using it because I am cheap and I, you know, just haven't went to the store and bought mascara. So we're using this. Even though it's super dry, it still gets the job done. While we wait for the mascara to dry so I can clean up my lids, I'm going to move on to eyebrows. This is the Ulta Beauty Brow Tint in the shade medium. If you don't like doing brows, me either. That's like I hate that step. That is the worst step in the makeup process in my opinion. This product makes it like super easy and super quick. So what this is just a little brush like that. It's literally so tiny. So you don't have to do any more effort than you normally would than if you're just coming through your brows. Does that make sense? See how it instantly just gives my brows color? I mean, the before and after is like, it's wild. You don't have to go in multiple swipes. You just go in once and just brush through your brows. It's super easy. I love this product for just like a quick application, and if I'm like in a time crunch for my makeup, this is what I do because it still makes your brows look good and like put together, but you're not spending time on them at all. All right, eyes are cleaned up. We're in the home stretch. So let's brush off any excess powder that we have. You can use any brush for this, and we want to make sure that we concentrate that powder that we put right here. We want to keep it right there. So what I'm doing is just swirling motions. We are all brushed. Now let's move on to bronzer. We're gonna go back to the Profusion Bronzer Palette. By the way, you can get this at Walmart. And I'm gonna do something probably unconventional, but I'm just gonna, you know, just go through all of them and apply bronzer where I normally would on the high points. So on my forehead, on my cheekbones, take a little bit underneath my chin and my jawline, and then I'm gonna take a little bit and just put it on my nose like that because I want to kind of put some shadow on my nose without doing a full-on nose contour. But skip that step if you are not comfortable doing this yet. Now time for blush. I'm going to be taking another Profusion palette. This is the Blush 1 palette. Looks like this. I think I'm gonna try to take just these two. Is this a big stippling brush? I found it's better for me than like an actual blush brush. I feel like this particular brush distributes the blush a little bit better. There are too many B's in these sentences. I'm gonna put some on my nose, my forehead, and my chin. So pretty. Now we're flushed and back to life. Just because we're on a Profusion kick, let's take another palette. This is the Blush and Glow. We're gonna do highlighter. Let's just take this one right here, which is called, what's this? fizz. Putting it on my cheekbones and above my eyebrow. And the rest just on my nose, on my cupid's bow, and on my chin. Ready. Last step is lips. Let's go. I need to sharpen this thing. This is, okay, so it's not, this one's not drugstore, but you can take whatever kind of lip liner you want. I am literally, like, look how small this thing is. This is from Sephora. I don't even know what shade this is. It's just a nude shade. You can take whatever lip liner that you like. Yes, we are still using lip liner. I get that question a lot from like friends and family. Do you, like, are we even using lip liner? Is that like an old person thing? No. We are using lip liner. And for lip gloss, today we're using the I Heart Revolution gloss in the shade Salted Caramel. It smells so good. It's just like a brown nude shade. There we go, and we are done. Super quick, super easy. My face feels and looks very nice, hydrated, healthy, beautiful, and it was all with drugstore products and all with very beginner easy techniques. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a beauty series going on my channel right now. It is the Beauty on a Budget 30 Days of Glam for Less. I show all of the products that I love. There's 30 products in total that are from the drugstore that I absolutely love. They each get their own video dedicated to them where I go in detail. I show you how I use them. I show you why I love them, and it's just great. So go ahead and subscribe so you can go binge that series. There's a whole playlist of it, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.